Hey, hello everybody. This is one and only Tony. Welcome. And today we have a very special guest. Well, his name is Dominic Scaffidi. He's a master certified coach. He's also an executive and a leadership coach. He works with leaders, teams, professionals, coaches, and entrepreneurs. And he's the master of the law of attraction and also the three principles. So it's pleasure and honor. Let's welcome Dominic Scaffidi. Hi, Dominic. How are you today?
Great. Thank you for that introduction. I don't know that I would say a master of law of attraction, but I certainly have some understanding of it, along with an understanding of the three principles, as you know. So both of those things are sort of core to my and foundational to how I'm grounded. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, Dominic, so happy to have you here. And I would like to start by asking you our first question that is, what is the real law of attraction and how does it work in our life?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great question. So it's really simple. It is a law of energy, is really what it is, and as a law, it has a simplicity to it, and meaning also as a law that it is always operating and invariable. Um, a metaphor would be like a law, like the law of gravity. The law of gravity, it plays out and it's always operating, it's never off, it never varies in the way that it operates, and so it's constant. It would be a constant. So law of attraction is like that, and the law itself is quite simple. That which is like unto itself is drawn, or we could say like attracts like, um, and that's the extent of it. That is all that it is. It is saying. A lot of people who are familiar with law of attraction will often confuse it with many teachings and teachers about it, and think that it means one thing or another, a bunch of things. But the law itself, that is simply the description of it. It doesn't mean anything. It just is what it is. And then there are implications to it, but those implications are certainly not the law, and those implications are quite variable as far as what the implications of the law is. But the law is very simple. So like attracts like. That which is like unto itself is drawn, and it applies to energy. And as simple as that may sound, that it applies to energy, once you begin to further explore the fact that everything is energy, then it is a pretty important law, because there is nothing it does not apply to. Yeah.
Okay, great, great. The thing is that I see that lots of people are trying the techniques like using affirmations, visualizing, but what I notice is that those things they don't work for them. And many people are selling books, courses. So, what is the reason? Why doesn't law of attraction work for some people?
Well, yeah, I think you hit it right on. Because it cannot be used. Um, as a law, it simply operates. It can't be used by anybody, any more than you could use the law of gravity for any purpose. It isn't something you use, it is something that is constant and operating. It is your true nature, and the nature of reality operates by this law, but that is not something that can be used. It is only something that, as you align with the truth of that, you find yourself more effective in operating. So it's as you align to the truth of your true nature and the nature of reality. Then you find yourself more effective. To the degree that you misunderstand what that law is and how that law operates, then you find yourself frustrated or ineffective. And the idea of attempting to use a law in order to achieve something is a bit ridiculous, because this is operating in all that is, in the entire universe. And we won't be using it for anything. We can align with it or not align with it. That's about the extent of the choice. Yeah.
Would you talk more about our true self and how we are like connected to our reality?
Yeah. And so the thing about our true self, who we really are, and for that, I think the teachings of Sydney Banks and, when you think about what he spoke about in the three principles, he spoke to truth, a seeing of truth. And when he described us humans, right? He first spoke about that what there is an energy, which is the energy of all things. And that is a formless energy, that is the energy of all things. And he said that you and I are a microscopic aspect of this energy of all things. So when you think about what he was pointing to, he's basically pointing to it's all an energy. It is all an energy. And then if you think, for us, we're an aspect of this energy. That energy, if it's the energy of all things, it obviously would contain within it the intelligence, the design, the intelligence of anything, all things. There is no thing of which that energy is not its source. So that energy is an infinite intelligence. It is infinite, expressing in an infinite variety of ways, an infinite variety of finite expressions of this one energy. That is what's going on. And from that, we get billions of people. We get even more expressions of this energy or consciousness that would be like animals and plants and other manifestations of this one energy. So he pointed to the one energy, and it's kind of all there is, but it's hard to talk about when you talk like that. So what he did is he came up with three ways of speaking about the same thing. So he talked about mind, an intelligence, an infinite intelligence, that is that. And then he described a bit about it, its true nature. So another way he described is consciousness, meaning that this energy is aware. So it's not just that it's an energy, but it is an aware energy. So it is aware of itself. It has an awareness to it. And then he talked about thought. And thought, which is the way I would describe it, he didn't say it like this, but I would speak to thought as focused consciousness. So there's an awareness of awareness. It's just an aware awareness. And thought being a focused awareness. So a focused consciousness. So in the end, really, it's all the same energy. And this is what Sid said. He said, don't get confused. I'm talking about three different things. But there are not three different things. There is only one thing, which is this energy. And it's a formless energy. And this formless energy is expressing itself into form. So this is, now where we get into things and you and I and, material appearing things everywhere, is this same formless energy in expression, expressing into infinite things. And the way it does that, what Sydney Banks said, is it expresses into form first via thought. So as it's a focus of itself, an aspect of itself, expressing into these infinite variety of forms. So maybe I'll pause there just to make sure we're tracking in the question you're asking.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, Sydney Banks was a great teacher, and he discovered the three principles: mind, thought, and consciousness. And when he talked about that, he talked about the divine mind, divine thoughts, and the divine consciousness. And that is our true nature, not the form, but the formless, which turns into form, right? And how do we express this? Like, are there some techniques that we have to use, or is there something to realize about ourselves?
So it really is simply a realization or an understanding. There's first of all, the two, the formless and the form, are also indivisible. Sydney Banks, again, when he divided it and spoke about it as a formless energy that expresses into form via thought, right? He talked about it like that. But later, what he said was, but there's not really formless and form. It's really, and then he put another word. He said it's the allness. It's the allness. It's the totality of that. And when you, again, what that points to is it's indivisible. It's indivisible. There isn't a divide between these two. And that's important to understand because there is no such thing as a formless energy that is unexpressed. So there's no such thing as an energy somewhere which is unexpressed. And then there's us, you and me here, which are separate from that. Here and now is all there is. Here and now. There is nowhere else. There is not a different time. It is all here and now. That formless energy is expressing itself here and now. It is not somewhere else where it comes into this moment. It is not at another time coming into this moment. So there's not a place different than this, which is our true nature. Our true nature shows up right here and now. Right here, in this moment, right now.
Okay, so there's nothing to find because our true nature is all that is. So how can like I see people trying many techniques, uh, but nothing seems to work for them when it comes to manifesting their desires. So how can people use this understanding to achieve the success and manifest what they want?
Yeah, it's so again, this is what can be frustrating about this is the fact that you cannot use your true nature to achieve anything. Your true nature is all there is. So the bit of trickiness in all of this is the fact that you are striving, seeking to achieve something that you are not is the very thing that keeps it away from you. It is the misunderstanding that there is anything that you are not, which you must achieve or accomplish. That misunderstanding holds you apart from that. So forever you'll be in the seeking of it, this thing, this whatever you're missing that you want, for as long as you think that and perceive it, you will forever be apart from it. And that is simply in a misunderstanding that you are not it, that you are not already achieving. Now, the moment you see that who you really are is the energy of all things, then you can express and experience any aspect of yourself, any aspect of yourself, and everything that you want, everything that you desire is simply an expression of you. It is simply something that is within you that you are desiring to express that you have not yet expressed through this physical form. So what's keeping you apart is this idea that you're missing something and it's out there and that you must achieve it. So,
Yeah, that's what I see. People are trying to achieve something, love, health, wealth, but at the end, what they're looking for is within them. It's because this is all that is. So I would like to ask you that I know it's not easy to get this on a logical level, but if we like stop trying to find something or realize that we are not missing anything. So still some people have their goals, right? Somebody wants to be an actor, somebody wants to be a businessman. So what to do about our goals?
so yeah, let's look at so everything that you want, every single thing that you want is because you believe you will be happier in the having of it. There's not one single thing that you want or desire that is not because you believe you will be happy in the having of it. So the idea of being happy is that everything you seek, everything you desire, everything you want is for a state of being. It is for a state of being. You said about how people are looking for, say they want to be in a relationship because they want more love. They want more money because what they want is abundance. Now, everything like that, when you think of love, abundance, peace, these are states of being that are within you. These are states of being that are already at your source. You are already all of those things. So when you talk about goals and wanting to achieve, there's something that is backwards, and then when we get it in the right direction, it gives us a lot of power. The backwards part is to say, I must do or have things in order to be who I am. So I must travel more in order to be, free. I must have more money in order to be free. I must be in a relationship in order to experience love. Right? So there's always, when we're seeking, there's always those three words, in order to. They are always the clue that there's a misunderstanding. Because whenever there is anything that I desire in order to, that has a misunderstanding within it. If you realize that who you are is the energy of all things, the essence of all things, then there is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to have in order to, because you are already the source of all that. So what would you do if you were already the source of all things, that infinite source of possibilities, of all possibilities? You are the space, the energy of the possibility of all things. What would you do? Well, you could do anything. You could do anything. You could be or do or have anything during this 100 years of life that you have. You are the possibility of all things. And what would you do with 100 years? Well, what you would do is you could do anything, right? Now, why would you do anything? And you would never do anything in order to be that. You would be doing everything for the sheer joy, happiness, bliss of expressing and experiencing who you are. So you would build a business and you would serve people and you would end up making all kinds of money for the sheer joy and self-expression of the creation of all of that, of the experience, the expressing of the abundance, the limitless ideas you have that you can bring into form, for the sheer joy of the experience of that. You know yourself as abundance, but it's one thing to know yourself as that and another thing to experience that through this physical form. So it's not just the possibility of abundance, but the experience of abundance. The possibility of love, but then there's an experience of love with another person. There's an experience of love with others. So it doesn't remain a formless possibility, but an expressed, experienced possibility. And so that is what true desire is. True desire has no need behind it. It has no hole to fill. That true desire is an expression, a desire to express and experience who you already are. There is no in order to achieve anything. You're already what you're desiring to achieve. And from a knowing of that, you simply move into the expression of it.
Beautiful. Exactly. It is about experiencing who we are. Great. And yeah, I would like to ask you about your story. How did you discover these secrets of life, this understanding, and how did you come so far, become so successful in your life?
Well, it yeah, it's this is, when you say come so far, this is the current expression, and experiencing of this understanding, of the understanding of who I think I am and my true nature. I think that's an interesting thing to know for each of us, is, by the way, that you are always, each of us are in life and in perfect harmony with the expression and experience of what we understand about ourselves and our true nature. So we're always in a perfect harmony of that. I often will say to people, you are far more than you think. So you are far more than you think. Who you think you are is a limitation of who you really are. And the paradox there is that you can only experience and know yourself as who you think you are. So there is an eternal part of our eternal nature is you will always be who you think you are. You can never be more than that. And eternally you will be, the truth of it is that you will eternally be far more than you think. So no matter where you are now and no matter what you have seen or achieved, you will forever be in a place to be far more than that. Right? So that is only ever a limitation of your expression. For me, law of attraction most obviously showed up was when I left the corporate world. I was in the corporate world for 20 years in various roles. The last role I held was an executive position, VP of HR in a large organization. And then when I left the corporate world, that's about 12 years ago, or maybe longer, 14. So then I went from that kind of a career into self-employment as a coach, an executive coach, leadership coach. And so I hadn't, that experience of self-employment was one where you have to, let's say under normal ways of looking at it, you must achieve. You must create things and achieve it. You must achieve a business. You must create clients and all of that kind of thing. And so it was through that which I began to understand and align with the law of attraction. And how it happened was that I really loved the work that I was doing as a coach. So in other words, as a coach, what I say is my purpose, my vocation or purpose is to awaken greatness. So I love the idea of conversations, coaching conversations with clients where, we would explore things and then they would see, new things and new possibilities for themselves. And then there's a whole business aspect to coaching, which at the time people would say to me, you've got to figure out how to find clients, you need to do marketing, you've got to talk to people and prospects, find people, have conversations, and then, convince them, I guess, to be your client. And there was something about that which sounded off to me. It didn't feel, it's not that it just didn't feel resonant with me. It was not something that resonated, that harmonized with me. And so this is when I began discovering law of attraction, which was I began to notice that there were clients, many clients and examples, where they were simply showing up or coming to me. And a lot of it was at times when I was particularly happy, joyful, feeling good, that at times like this, it seemed coincidental that I would get a referral, or I would have someone would email me and say, oh, I saw, a post on LinkedIn, or I was browsing around and I came across your profile and I'd like to talk to you about something. And so I noticed that was happening in a very easy, effortless way. And that began my curiosity about, what is that? And I wonder this sort of ease about the way that happens. I wonder if you could build a business like this, basically attracting it. And so, yes, and so the short story is I did go on to build this business that I have, and it's been a thriving coaching practice for quite a number of years, and it's happened in a way that I would say is effortless.
Hey, great. Great. It's quite new to me. I've never heard of that. Like, what I know is that to get something, people have to try hard. Like, concerning getting clients, we have to approach people, try to convince them, and do all that. So, that's great. That's great. Yeah. Also, as you said, like attracts like. If we are in a state of being desperate about getting clients, so I don't think it's gonna work because like attracts like. Being desperate will make you more desperate. So how do you help people? I mean, you also help coaches, right? So
Yes.
how do you help people be happy and joyful, so they can attract what they want?
Yeah, isn't it funny how we just the very idea of how can we help someone to be happy, as if as if there were not reason enough simply in the obviousness of being happy, right? So so in fact our innate state, the natural state, is one of well-being and joy. And then every bit of doing that we do will move us out of that state. And so we must resist the state of being, which is the innate state, the natural state. And all of resistance that takes us away from that pure innate state is always thought. So thought is the only thing that can get in the way of, or in resistance to, your innate state of joy or bliss. So there's some thought that comes in and given attention to that becomes more important than the joy, the truth of the joy and bliss that is who I really am in this moment. And it's a thought like, yeah, but I don't have enough money. And, yeah, but I'm not doing the kind of work that I like. Right? So a thought comes in, I give it attention. With my attention, it becomes my experience. And then in my experience, I'm separated. I begin to deviate from the truth of the joy, bliss, well-being that is who I really am.
Great. Something crazy is happening. Like my beliefs are shattering. This is quite the opposite of what I was taught. I was taught to take action, think hard on how to solve problems, but it's quite the opposite because I'm already that I'm seeking.
That's
Beautiful.
beautiful.
It's
That's
beautiful.
beautiful. You know, see, the effort part is the part that is not true nature. The doing and the hard work and the effort is not true nature. That's not the nature of you. And I'll describe it like this. You you are made, conceived in the mind of the creator. And the way I'll say that is because the energy of all things, Sydney Banks called that God, and then said you are an aspect of that energy of all things. But a label for it, label people may give to that universe or energy, is God. And we are made in the image of God. When I say we are made in the image of God, we are made in the imagination of God, imagined by the universe, imagined by God. Right? So you are a thought in the mind of God. And so to be made in the image of something, you an image is a true reflection. It is a reflection of that. So I'm following here to get to the point of you are already a creator. The creator has imagined you as a true reflection. As a true reflection of the creator, you are a creator. And you share in its nature, the nature of the creator. You create as the creator does. And the creator creates, let's play this out. The creator does not create with muscle. The creator does not create with effort. The creator does not create by hard work, does not create by force. The creator simply creates with thought. The creator simply imagines and it is. That's the amount of effort. Simply imagines and whatever is imagined is. That is an instant creation, an instant manifestation. Whatever God thinks is, right? You are made in the image of that. You are made as a reflection of that. That is your true nature. It is the way we create also. We create with thought. We create in our mind. We do not create through action. We create with thought in our own mind. Action is expressed through us from our thoughts and in our mind. But action is not creating anything. That is not the source of creation. The source of creation is this energy that is who you are. That is your true nature. The difference between you and I and the creator is that when the creator thinks a thought, the creator thinks a thought purely unopposed thought. When the creator says, let there be light, there is light. Because the creator, unlike you and I, does not think, let there be light. I wonder how this is going to happen as a next thought. The creator does not say, let there be light. Oh my God, this is going to be so hard to do, right? The creator thinks thoughts without opposition. The creator thinks a thought and does not oppose its own thinking. You and I are different. We will think a thought and immediately oppose it. We will imagine a thriving business and then think, but that's not going to be easy. We will think about being in a relationship and say, but that's going to take a long time before I find somebody who I'm compatible with. So we will think a thought and then we will oppose it, or we will start thinking all kinds of things that are in resistance to that thought. Yeah.
So that means we are all that we are looking for. And the only thing that comes in the way is just our thoughts. Is that
Yeah.
it?
Yes. Yes. And here's the cool thing, because law of attraction is so useful, powerful, right? Because like attracts like, what is being drawn to you, always being drawn to you, is who you are. Really, it's the mix of energies within you are coming to you and being reflected to you, so you can always know your current state. So as an example, you may, and by the way, and this for law of attraction is the universe is only responding to energies. So the energy within you is, let's just say it's a vibration. It is a frequency, a vibration. Right? And in three principles, we talk about you're always experiencing your thinking. Right? That happens as it says, well, you experience your thinking. You're always feeling your thinking, right? Jack Pransky said this in one of the most simplest things. He said, you get what you think. The simple way to say it is you get what you think. I follow the teachings of Abraham Hicks a lot in for law of attraction. Law of attraction, Abraham Hicks will say something very much like that. You get what you think, but they've added a few words which I think explain it. So what Abraham Hicks has said is you get the essence of what you're thinking about, whether you want it or not. So Jack Pransky in Three Principles described it as you get what you think. Abraham Hicks says you get the essence of what you think about, whether you want it or not. So there's a few things that get added there which are interesting. The essence of what you think about. The essence of what you think about is before the content of the thought. It is before the form of the thought. So the essence is the energy itself. It is the formless energy. It is the vibration. What you're getting is that vibration. And you're getting that vibration whether you want it or not. Right? So what does that mean? I look at my bank account and I say, there's not enough money. I have so many bills and there's not enough money. I am living in scarcity, right? And then I say, but I want lots of money. So I'm going to envision a lot of money and I'm going to go around talking about it from now on. And I'm going to tell everybody that I want lots of money. I am a wealthy person. I am a person of great abundance. I'm just going to talk like this. And so that I'm thinking like this, I'm always thinking in abundance and all of that. And then after a while, this is what you asked about when it comes to this law of attraction stuff. We go for months and months or years and we say, how come I still don't have any money? How come I'm still struggling financially? And many people experience that. Well, the explanation is really there where you're getting the essence of what you think about. So when I claim to be thinking about a thriving business with lots of money, what is the energy, the source from which that desire arose? What is the birth of this desire? From where did it come? And when you notice, what you'll find is that the birth of that desire came from an essence of scarcity. What evoked this desire, these ideas, this goal, is really the energy or essence of scarcity. And what is born of scarcity, what is expressed from scarcity, no matter what the words, contains that energy. And that which is like unto itself is drawn. And as long as that energy and essence is there, that is exactly what I continue to match up with. Right? So there's no talking myself out of it or thinking that I can use pretty words to get what I want. You'll never use the law of attraction because the law of attraction will always operate on the truth of who you are being in this moment. And so if you ever wonder who you are being in this moment, you simply look at the manifestations. You simply look at the manifestations and you see, oh, I see, there must be something going on because I keep struggling over here. There must be something within me because I have frustration or anger or I'm feeling, whatever. So that is all within me. And it is being manifest and reflected back to me. So really, I'm able to see my state of being in any moment.
Great, great, beautiful. So all that we have is the reflection of who we are being. And the sense that you were talking about, if it is scarcity, this is what we will attract. So that's why it doesn't work for people, because they are desperate about something. So they sense scarcity, and no matter what they try, they keep getting back to the same energy. Right?
Right. Yes. Because those ideas, those thoughts, which eventually the state of being, that state of being is expressed into the words and action, and it is expressed into the results. This is the flow of it from a state of being to doing to having. That is what formless to form comes first via thoughts. Thoughts create actions and words and actions. They're expressed even more. And as you express words and actions, results and outcomes happen in your life. But what is the creator of all of that is a formless energy. And it is, and what you are expressing and experiencing is simply a reflection of your state of being, of that vibration that is who you really are. So what do you do is it's really about tuning or calibrating to your true desire, to what is within you that you already are in this moment, that you desire to express and experience more of that. It's not about achieving something in order for you to feel a particular way, but to tune into you are abundance, you are love. How do you calibrate more to that? Right? How do you tune to that energy and that frequency, which is the truth of you, the truth of your true nature? That's the calibration that you're doing. And don't pay attention. Don't be thinking about what do I need to do? What do I need to do in order to achieve this? When you tune to that, you are in harmony with the truth of you and your true desire. And that energy is wanting expression through you. In other words, the truth of you, that abundance, is wanting to express through you, to experience itself through you. So, were it not for your resistance, it would flow through. And it would flow through, and insights would come, and ideas would come, and thoughts would come into your mind that are in harmony with the truth of the abundance that is who you are, which would then express into the words and the actions that you'd be expressing into the world, which become the results and outcomes that are created, and all of that reflecting back to you your current state of being, who you really are. Yeah.
I'm amazed. And uh, uh, for those who have lots of negative and desperate thinking about things, how can they overcome those thoughts?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. Um, so this is, and I think both Sydney Banks, Abraham Hicks spend a lot of time talking about thought, right? Speaking to thought, and very important is to distinguish between the energy, an energy which is thought, and then the form of it, which is the content of thought. Specific thinking and ideas that I do. So, like that. So the difference between a vibration expressing into my personal thoughts and thinking. So people who have, and all of us do, by the way, we all have these limited thoughts, limitations, beliefs that are contrary. They're contrary to the truth of me, right? It's like when I get a particular idea or project and then I go, oh, I can't do that. I don't know enough about this. Well, that's just not true, right? This idea, this limitation, I can't do that. There's no truth to it. Of, of course I could. If I wanted to, of course I could. But because who am I really? Who am I really is the essence, the energy, the possibility of all things. There is nothing you cannot be or do or have. Right? So there is not one thing you cannot be or do or have. If your mind can conceive of it and you can align and be in harmony with it, it would express through you if it were not for the contradictory thought in opposition. So, but what do you do? Because there is something about thoughts, and Abraham will speak to, and law of attraction is important to understand in this, that thought is an energy to which law of attraction will keep expanding. It keeps expanding that energy. Another way to say it is it brings a momentum and a trend and a momentum to that energy. In human form, many of us, we will discuss things. We will say like, oh my God, I got on a train of thought the other day. It was so depressing. See, just the idea, I got on a train of thought. I woke up and I kind of thought, oh wow, what if I lose my job? And then you thought from, what if I lose my job? Boy, we'd have to sell the house. And then like we could end up homeless. And we might have to sell the kids. Like it would, it's like the whole, suddenly you go from just some dumb idea, some thought that just comes, and then it's like a train of thought. You're on a train, and that train picks up speed and momentum, and pretty soon you can't get off this train. You're just going in the spiral. Well, important to understand is that the thought is only active within us by our attention to it. So, law of attraction, this is a universe only of attraction. It is only a universe of attraction. There is no assertion in this universe. What that's good to understand is there is nothing attacking you from outside. So the thought, you are not under attack by thought. It is a universe only of attraction. You are attracting or bringing toward you thought, and all thought that is in harmony with the vibration that you are currently on. Now, Sydney Banks described this rather than the term vibration or frequency. Sydney Banks spoke about levels of consciousness. He spoke about higher levels of consciousness, which would be more they'd be closer to your true nature, the truth of you. They'd be closer to God, the universe, mind, infinite intelligence would be in a higher level of consciousness, and your personal thinking would be at a lower level of consciousness, right? It's certainly negative kinds of thought opposing you would be a lower level of consciousness. So when you think about those frequencies or the vibrations, the thoughts that come to you are on, and the trains of thought that you are on, law of attraction is working on that frequency. It is expanding that frequency. So when someone says, so what do I do about negative thoughts? How do I get rid of them? So understanding the nature of thought, I understand I'm not attacked. I'm not under attack right now. Yeah, but I always, and people will say, but I wake up, I'm so negative. I feel negative. I'm always, pessimistic about things. And then they attempt to think it, to change thinking. They try to think positive or whatever, which of course will not work because your energy of a low vibration, low level of consciousness, attempting to make things pretty, using positive thoughts, but they are all sourced in this low level vibration. So it doesn't work. The very idea is coming, to try to change the thinking is at the same level of consciousness of what you don't like. But the only way it's coming is by your attention to it. So that's an important thing, is to realize that my attention to thought is what draws it to me, and my attention to thought is the only thing fueling it. So it is only for, the thought is alive only for as long as I give it attention. And as long as I give it attention, the faster it moves, the more momentum it has, the more trend it has in the direction of that thought. So what do I do about it? Really ideally, right? If I could withdraw attention from a thought, I rob it of its fuel. I rob it of its energy. And nothing can attack me in a universe only of attraction. There's no assertion. It cannot come after me. It is only attracted to me with my attention. So here's what's tricky about it. If I start saying, I don't want to think that thought, I don't want to think that thought, what am I giving attention to? I refuse to think this thought. I'm not going to think this thought anymore. What am I giving attention to? So there's no way out of it. It's a trap. So what's simpler is, as my attention moves toward anything else, and by the way, it always moves. Our attention is always moving. One of the things Abraham says, the thing you have going for you as human beings is you are so fickle. You cannot remain focused on anything for very long, because you're focused on this thing, and suddenly a puppy will jump up onto your lap, or a baby will come into the room, or the sun will come shining in. And Abraham says you are so fickle you cannot stay focused on any thought for very long. So your thought will move, and the fuel comes out of that negative thought. So what do you need to do? Nothing. You're moving all the time, and simply pay attention to the way you're feeling. Pay attention to the way you're feeling. And when you're on something and it's negative and it doesn't feel good, don't get too interested in that. Don't be so interested. Don't stay. There's lots of things for you to be interested in. Notice the feeling. Be sensitive to the feeling, because that thought will feel a certain way. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, because every single thought is transitory. It means whether we pay attention to it or not, it is just moving, it's passing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has been a great time with you, Dominic. I've really never had so much in just 1 hour that I've had with you. Wonderful.
Yes.
Great.
Thanks for your interest in this. Yeah.
All right. So those of the people who would like to follow you, where can they find you?
If the best place is my website, which is dominicscaffidi.com. And on that website, there's links to all kinds of things. I have a YouTube channel. If you also on that website, there are all kinds of webinars that I do where I talk about this stuff at length. And those are all available there. So when you go there, you can, sign up and watch these various webinars, and the different understanding. And of course, I'm a coach. You can also work with me as a coach, and there's information about all that stuff through that website. Yeah.
Great. And I will leave all the details in the description. And I can't express the gratitude. I'm really grateful to you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. All right. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you.